Welcome to our show, Core and Pole Shifts, the Forces Behind Earth's Instability, Part 1 of 2. We are living in a time of profound uncertainty, often described as the end times or doomsday. Two remarkable changes occurring on Earth are especially noteworthy. The first involves the possibility of a dramatic reversal of the Earth's magnetic poles. The second concerns the Earth's inner core, which scientists have found to rotate independently from its outer layers. It can even stop or reverse its rotation. This heightens concerns about increased seismic and volcanic activity, as well as the potential for continental shifts. These phenomena, both alarming to scientists and those who are deeply concerned, point to significant and possibly catastrophic consequences for the planet and humanity as a whole. What exactly is happening? Scientists hesitate to draw conclusions about unprecedented events. Yet the significance of their findings is undeniable. One thing is crystal clear. If Mother Earth is conveying a message through this disturbing science, we cannot afford to ignore it. Let's begin with the phenomenon of pole shifting, or the looming flip of Earth's magnetic poles. This all started with scientists' observation of the magnetic north moving northwest.
Did you know that Earth has two North Poles? There's the geographic North Pole, which never changes, and there's the magnetic North Pole, which is always on the move. And right now, it's moving faster than usual. Over the last 150 years, the magnetic North Pole has casually wandered 685 miles across northern Canada. But right now, it's racing 25 miles a year to the northwest. This could be a sign that we're about to experience something humans have never witnessed before: a magnetic polar flip.
The Earth's magnetic north was moving even before it was discovered in 1831. It's a natural process driven by molten iron moving deep beneath the Earth's crust. But magnetic north is now moving so quickly that it forced the world's geomagnetism experts to update the world magnetic model a year early. If the Earth's magnetic field decays significantly, scientists say it could collapse altogether and flip polarity, changing magnetic north to south and south to north.
Magnetic poles are not geographic poles, so even though their physical locations are moving, the pole shift that scientists discuss does not mean the Arctic and Antarctic switch places. But what does magnetic field flip mean? To understand that, let us first focus on how the magnetic field of our Earth works. Earth's unique magnetic field originates from intense movements within the Earth's core. The inner core is solid iron and nickel, hotter than the sun due to extreme pressure. It sits surrounded by a liquid outer core of molten metals and sulfur. Now picture this core as a giant pot of boiling water on a stove. Just as heat churns the water, convective forces stir the molten metals, creating vast whirlpools driven by the planet's rotation. These swirling metals generate enormous electrical currents, racing rapidly across the solid inner core at incredible speeds. This is the dynamo at work, powering Earth's magnetic field.
Our magnetic field actually has a name. It's called the magnetosphere, and it plays a crucial role in making Earth a habitable planet. It wards off much of space's harmful radiation, like cosmic rays, acting like an essential protective cloak around the Earth, which is one reason why scientists and governments are so invested in knowing how it works and how it will behave.
Recent studies of the Earth's magnetic field have made one thing clear: we can no longer take our planet's guardian of life for granted. Research reveals that Earth's magnetic field has weakened by up to 9% in the past 200 years, signaling a state of flux and potential upheaval. As the magnetic poles wander, the strength of the magnetic field will diminish, leading to partial or complete reversal of magnetic north and magnetic south. During the reversal, our magnetic field could lose up to 90% of its protective power. What will happen if the magnetic field shifts? Human civilization has little record to answer the question. As some have noticed, while scientists agree on the magnetic field reversal, they debate what it means and what the worst scenario could be.
Although they sound like something out of science fiction, geomagnetic reversals like this are real. They've happened before, and the process behind it might be a lot more dangerous than you'd think. During those times, the Earth's magnetic field, the shield around our planet that keeps us safe from deadly solar radiation, will drop to as low as 10% of its current strength, leading one group of scientists in 2021 to predict climate shifts and mass extinctions, and others to describe satellites being destroyed, electrical grids going offline, and deadly radiation raining down on us for hundreds or even thousands of years.
One theory notes that despite magnetic pole shifts occurring 183 times in the last 83 million years, and even more frequently over the last 160 million years, Earth persists. The main concern now is how these shifts affect communication systems and living conditions.
If the poles suddenly reversed, should we be ready for a geomagnetic apocalypse? Everything on Earth would be exposed to higher levels of radiation. Flaming hot particles from the sun would slam into our ozone layer and puncture it. Extra ultraviolet radiation would damage human tissue and cause mutations. Skin cancer could become as common as the flu. Would our technology be in danger? Absolutely. For the US economy alone, a single big solar storm would cost as much as $42 billion per day. Blackouts that could last for decades. On top of that, high UV exposure could make some parts of the planet uninhabitable.
Another perspective focuses on the link between magnetic field shift mass extinctions and climate change. A study led by the University of New South Wales, Sydney, and the South Australian Museum supports this view. Analyzing data from rings of ancient swamp kauri trees in New Zealand, the researchers found that a magnetic field reversal coupled with the shifts in solar winds triggered widespread biological extinction and environmental collapse around 42,000 years ago, during a period known as the Lachamps event. At this time, Earth's magnetic field weakened to only 0% to 6% of its present strength.
While people knew that the magnetic fields occasionally reversed, everyone had kind of concluded that it didn't have much impact biologically or climatically. And we've found the complete opposite.
It would have been an incredibly scary time, almost like the end of days.
What we've found is that the reversals have caused pronounced climate change, but also impacts on human populations that have previously been unexplained or mysterious.
We're seeing things like a huge expansion in the ice sheets over North America. We're seeing wind belts around the tropics and in the Southern Ocean shifting. We're seeing this explosion of art preserved in caves around the world, the extinction of the Neanderthals. All these things seem to be happening around the same time.
If scientists are correct about mass extinction during the magnetic field reversal, then we may indeed be witnessing signs of the end times. NASA first detected a slight magnetic pole shift in 1998, intriguingly aligning with a prediction made by American clairvoyant Edgar Cayce decades ago. Cayce did 14,000 readings in his life, many of which came true, and some were horrifying. He pinpointed 1998 as the starting year of the magnetic field shift.
In 1936, Edgar Cayce predicted that the world would undergo a pole shift between 16 and 20 degrees. And this would happen when both Mount Etna in Italy and Mount Pelée in Martinique erupt together. Now, if the poles do shift, as Edgar Cayce predicts, the world map is going to look very different. Africa will be divided into 3 parts. The Nile will widen and a brand new waterway will split the continent. As the Red Sea grows, Cairo will eventually disappear into the sea. Asia will suffer the most dramatic changes. Land will be covered from the Philippines to Japan by the ocean. The entire coast of China will be pushed inland hundreds of miles. Antarctica will no longer be covered in ice, but will once again become fertile and green. Europe will suffer. Most of northern Europe will simply be gone, sunk into the sea as the tectonic plate underneath it collapses.
Edgar Cayce's predictions, combined with scientific observations, paint a sobering picture of the potential changes our planet could face during a magnetic pole shift. From catastrophic tectonic movements to dramatic alterations in global geography, these scenarios remind us of our world's fragility. Whether or not these events unfold as foretold, they encourage us to reflect on how interconnected and dynamic life on Earth truly is.
Vegan, there is no better style to live.
Kind viewers, we appreciate your presence in today's show.